Hey, good morning, Jen. Welcome
Morning.
everybody to Life Beyond the Clouds. And just want to say, I am in Florida, so this lighting is a little bit crazy down here. I couldn't find a room. My hair is frizzy, but I'm not going to complain. It's 87 degrees. So I don't know how you're doing back home, but I'll be there in a few days.
It's kind of cloudy outside today. I mean, the
I've been
weather's it's been warmer. It's not been freezing. I'll say that.
Well, I'm not gonna complain, so everybody just don't mind the hair and mind the frizz and mind the lighting, so I'm doing the best I can because we wanna stay consistent with these messages because we're really seeing how it's helping people with the comments, and we really want everybody to know that this is about them, Jen. You and I talk about this. We do this every day. I see clients every day, and you do all your magic, every single day, and we wanna keep this where people can come somewhere, and it's not about what we're doing, it's about helping them, right? This is about saying what you have, what I mean? You're experiencing beautiful experiences every single day, not to overlook it and to trust in that divine. And also, you and I we talked about this. We would love to have people write in if anybody's had a spiritual experience, had a near death experience, or anything where they just had a divine encounter. Gosh, please write it into us. We might have you on as a guest to talk about it because I always just say life is that fence that connects, and it's about opening everybody else up so they're not afraid. I think the worst thing is to sit with an experience because can't tell you how many videos people send me going, "What are these little things flying around in my room? Is this bad?" I'm like, "No, that's your divine angels." And then they have so much peace. They're always like, "Oh my gosh, thank you for sharing that with me." So we want people to share their experiences too. We want this to be a
Absolutely.
place we educate. I want to look at this like spiritual school for people. Right? Where you can come, you can take away something like the daily videos every day. We're seeing, and even on the daily videos, drop a heart, drop something if there's something you want to talk about. If there's something you would like us, right, to talk about on the videos, let us know because we really want to guide people on the journey.
Yeah, I agree. When you share your story, you never know who that's helping. It could be one person, it could be 10, you know,
That's right.
but when you do share, I think it helps others just kind of say, "Oh, I did that too," or "I experienced that." And like, I'm not alone. So I think it makes it more comfortable. It makes it easier for people to start talking about it.
Yeah, and I always say people have written in and asked me, you should talk about scenarios a lot, like you do to scenarios, like, the angels will show me certain things, right? It's like driving down a road and you hit speed bumps, you know what I mean? Or you hit that little side thing where it, kind of rattles and throws you back on the road. Well, they show me these things because I'm a very visual person. I always have been, but it's also the way because people are relatable to that. They're going, that makes sense to me. That makes sense because it's like when you have those things, you speed bump, you just go over it slow or you learn to go around it. You don't turn around and go home, pack up your bags and say, I can't. You find another way. So that's why the divine will show us things that make sense for us. They don't want it to be complicated. This is not complicated. This is a divine connection. It's like a telephone, like you and I connect. Even I'm in Florida, you're back in Maryland, right? But we still found a way to connect. We're not in the same physical space and place, but we're still able to connect. And that's what heaven wants you to know, no matter where you are, they're connecting with you. And if that's the one thing, please take that away from today. But I'm excited. We were going to talk about something else, and these are going to kind of connect the next two podcasts we're talking about. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk about symbols today and talk about angel feathers and numbers, and things like this. And also talk about telepathy because it's very interesting what you and I, as soon as we got on this morning,
Yeah.
how we changed things up because the way that it was received to us. So I'm really, really excited
Yeah.
about this. So today we're going to really talk about symbols, whether it's angel numbers, whether it's feathers, whether it's cardinals, right? Whether it's finding coins, whether it's feelings, rainbows, butterflies, right? Everybody has that own personal thing where, you see that and you just say, my gosh, I know that that was you. I needed you and my heart hurt. Or I'm having a celebration today. And it's their way of saying, I'm still there. So I want to talk a little story about this. And I briefly mentioned this to you, this little tiny feather, right? So I'm down here in Florida, and yesterday it was about our podcast, right? Somebody kind of reached out and wanted to do something, with us, and I always wanted to check in with the divine feathers. So I said to them down here, I said, "Can you please?" And I thanked them already. I said, "I know I'm going to receive the message, and can I please find a feather, a white feather, in a place that wouldn't make any sense?" So I was talking to Dave, and we were looking at something I was telling you on the cell phone, right? Somewhere to go to eat. And I was telling him how I just asked the angels for a sign. I just got done saying that. I looked down, and by the bottom of my foot was this little white feather. And it just amazes me. And I looked up and it just makes your heart feel so good because anytime you get that confirmation, it doesn't always have to be a physical thing. It's that sense of peace, Jen, too. You know that. It's not always, I don't want people to get hung up that if they don't see a number, a feather, cardinal, that their prayer wasn't answered. But this is just that, do you understand that place inside of you where you just go, Okay, thank you, I got it. And it might not be immediate. It might be within a day or a week, right, that you find it, but they are going to answer. They're always going to answer your prayer or your question. So I love talking about this.
Yeah, I actually love that, too. I think that one thing I think that people need to understand when they're first starting out and asking for signs, I don't think they don't have to be super specific. Like for you, you've been doing this for so many years, so you just know, like, your sign is feathers, white
Yes.
feathers specifically. But
Yes.
for others, when you just say, like, "Can you just give me a sign?" A lot of people just throw that up. "Can you just give me a sign?"
Yes.
And the important thing is you have to pay attention because it could be something very subtle. You might ask something, then a song might play on the radio that just kind of is giving an answer, or you come across a billboard that you see something, you see some numbers. So, what do you say to people though that say, "Oh, that was just a coincidence. Like I asked, but like it was a coincidence."
You know what I really honestly, truly, truly believe with that is when they say it's a coincidence, they really don't believe that. They want somebody else to confirm what they just received because people are so afraid or they not I don't want to use the word afraid. They so want it so much that they don't want to believe that I mean maybe wasn't real. So they'll say to somebody else, like if I could have went and asked 10 people, do you think this feather was real yesterday? You think this was really real? Do you think this so you're so worried. You want it so much, right? We all want that connection. I don't, it doesn't matter to me who you are, what religion you are. Everybody wants to know there's more than this. They want to know there's something more and they want to know that they're being watched over. And most of the people that don't believe it, they really do, Jen. If you were to get them on the side and not in front of their friends, they would really say, you know what? Oh my gosh, I was so excited because people will do that. I have people in my life, in my own surroundings, right, that will just say, "What is this like? Is this really real? Are you sure?" Then they'll message me quietly and say, "Oh my god, I asked and I found this coin. I found this feather. I looked over and saw the number." So inside, they really believe it, but some people just need more people. And see, it's a different soul level too. So it depends where you're at as your soul level. There's different soul levels on this incarnation. Some of us, do you understand, have been here more times, so we just kind of know, you know what? Hey, I know what this is. And some it's like being in 1st grade and some are in 5th grade. So the 5th graders are already gonna have more information than maybe somebody that's in the 1st grade that hasn't been here as much. But everyone basically, truly, if you found it, it means you were asking. If you are asking, it means you believe. So that's just how it's just sometimes we need confirmation. It's like getting dressed up wearing a dress and you're going, "Does this look good? Do you really think it looks good?" You'll ask the same person. They're like, "Yes, it looks good."
Yes.
So it's just yeah, we do that because we doubt ourselves, but we really inside are going, "I think I look good. I just want somebody else to tell me I do."
Yeah. Oh, of
And
course.
and that's kind of if that's a way I can explain it, because that's how my divine angels always want to connect with me in a way that it's never about making it complicated.
Yeah.
Nev
No, and I think that sometimes there's differences in the signs, right? Where I've always believed that when I see, a cardinal or even a blue jay, a dragonfly, white butterflies, I see those just sporadically. I don't see them all the time, but I do see them. And sometimes I see them more often, but it's usually like when I'm talking to a loved one, just to talk to them because I believe they can hear you when you
they
speak out to
can.
them. So I think when you get those things, those are people coming to visit you. And I think when you get like angel numbers or maybe hear a song or something, it's a message to you. So I think there is a difference in what you
Yes.
receive.
Yes, so that's an interesting I like to just get into a little more detail about that because that's very, very true. So I also wanna know too, even with the music, you can wake up. So to anybody that's listening to this, please write in, let me know if you ever woke up and just heard a song in your head. You wake up and it's in your head. See, those are also messages from your loved ones will put a song in your mind. It might not always be a song you connected with them in heaven. It's a message song. So if you actually go and play the song on the radio, it could be where you're at in your life. And it's just saying like maybe a song like Don't Give Up, Hold On, better, what I mean? And listen to the verse and you'll just go, oh my gosh, I needed that. But interesting thing about this was a couple months ago, probably about 2 months ago. I was in my office and I was just finishing up some emails with appointments and I heard the name Ben in my head. And I'm like, okay, I don't have any clients named Ben. I don't know any Bens. So I was like, okay. So I just stopped and I looked up like I do. And I said, is this another guide? Are you one of my spirit guides? I said, and I always do my confirmation of 3, "Can you please let me see it 3 times?" So, after I said that, it was that later on that evening, I was coming back in to do a client on FaceTime, and I said, "Google play, spiritual, play meditation music." Well, the author's name was Ben something, and I was like, "Okay, so that's one," and I was like, "Okay." So then when I got done, honestly, I came out, and on the TV, they said, like, "We'd like to introduce Ben so and so." And I thought, "Hey, Ben, you're really working hard on this," and the next morning, I get it, and I get a text message saying, "My name is Ben. I'd like to make an appointment." See, your guides will do that. For me, I like the confirmation of 3 because I always just feel like when you do it 3 times, the head steps aside a little bit, or it convinces, lets the head know this is real. When we get it once, we think it's a coincidence. So that's why sometimes when and I always do the videos about 3 times, saying it 3 times, because then the mind and the soul connects. And it's very important for you not to doubt what you're receiving. So there are things where, yes, your other side is letting you know, we're here, send you the coins, like, I miss you. Can you give me? But then there's times it's that message from the angels, and they will find any way. They will find a way. Like the feather was from my angels. That wasn't from my father. That was, he shows me other signs, but that was a divine saying, "Hey, you're on the right course. You guys are doing, you're doing the right thing. This is what's happening for you." So, but there is a difference in that, like a warning. You know how even when you get a warning, like a feeling, I shouldn't go somewhere, or I should. Like you and we're going to talk about telepathy on the next video, because this was very connected the way this happened today, talking about the angel signs,
Yeah.
because it was not, and messages, what we were planning on talking about today. But the divine had another, do you understand?
Yes.
They had made up their own mind what they wanted us to do. But numbers are a really big thing. I really want to talk about that, because that numbers are very big, and people say, well, why numbers? Because sometimes you'll find a feather penny and you'll go, "Oh, that was great." You'll overlook it, but you keep seeing that number on license plates, on your clock, like you and I do all the time, 444, It's just, and 1210, like we'll see 1010, we see these numbers, because then you go, "Wait a second, this is crazy." I saw this everywhere. What's going on? And I always say to people that message me, "What does that mean?" I say, "No, no, no, it's for you to look up.
Yes.
It's your message. You take the time. We're too fast paced. The angels want to talk to you. Google in the spiritual meaning of whatever number it is that you're seeing, and stay with it and say thank you." See, every time I see it, I put my right hand over my chest, and I pause, and I just take that number in. I don't just keep going. I stop and I just say thank you. Thank you. And because I acknowledge that that was a gift from them. They wanted me to pause. They want you to pause. We're so fast paced,
Yes.
right? And
Gosh,
so
yes.
that's what I really feel about the signs.
No, I love that. And yes, we definitely see a lot of angel numbers. I feel like there's like every day I see
Like
angel numbers. So I constantly see them. So and I love
you do.
that. And I love being connected that way. And I think that it's important, like you said, for people to just pay attention. And
Yes.
something you've always said, and I love this, is write it down. Like if you don't know, just write it down. Date and write it, of something
Amen.
that you felt was the message. You can always write it down. You can always go back to confirm it.
Oh, yeah.
And, you and I get that all the time. You'll send me something and say, "Oh gosh, Jen, I feel like this is coming up. Like you got the message." So we have it in text message. And then, within a couple of weeks' time, sometimes it's a couple of months,
Yes.
we see the story and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you literally told me about this." I mean, even when we first started meeting, when I was thinking about like nursing school, and I think I may have mentioned nursing school like one time to you. And then you said, "Oh, like right around the time I was supposed to hear a decision, you sent me a text message." You said, "I don't know why I'm receiving this, but I just want you to know, like, you're going to like hear, like you're getting into this." And I'm like, "Okay." I was like, "Okay." Like I was really just not trying to think about
Yes.
it. And the very next morning, like I got an email that said, "You've been accepted." And like I was so excited. Like I screenshot it, I sent it to you.
I
And
remember that. I
yes.
remember that.
Yeah, so it was very, very exciting just to see that. So and I think people will get excited. So if you write it down when you don't know what it is, it's fun to go back and, like, look at it.
Jen, I have all the notebooks from the first time I started my set. I have a closet, and I don't know why I keep them, because I always do, the automatic writing, and I write it down, I screenshot it and send it to clients so they can have it, because you'll forget. It's so much information
Yeah.
that comes through to me, so much stuff that is just so, you just can't even imagine the things that come through, and people will go, "I just did that. That just happened." And it just what it does is it's not about me. I always just say that, like, it's never about me. And when I'm done, I move on, right? Because I wish people love and light, you know what I mean? But there's always, you want their hearts to be healed. And people will keep coming back too, because it's also about helping people on their own journey to understand what you have too. It's not about saying, I'm the end all for you. I'm not your answer to everything. I'm your guide. Right. So I look at it like that. I'm your teacher. I'm your guide. And I pass on these messages. And the reason I have to give specific messages is because they need to receive to believe. So once they've gotten the first 5 messages, like, "You just ate that, and this is, your uncle's name, this is your grandfather's name," and they're just going, "Oh my god, how'd you know this?" So then what happens is then the real information comes through. We're like, "I know you're struggling with this, but please hold on. This is what they're showing me is you're going through this, and this is gonna happen." And then what it does is it helps them to understand and to calm down that if she knew that, I always say to people, "I can't be right about this and wrong about that."
Right.
So that's why I give them the very, very specific information. So when the real stuff comes through about helping their heart, they understand, but then it opens them up. I always say to them, please ask yourself, you know what I mean? I have my own divine spiritual team. They're yours. They're going with you and they're going to keep guiding you. They don't just leave and puff into nothingness, right? I'm not the only one that receives messages. And this is what we want people to understand. We're all divine spiritual beings. We are connected to heaven. We're not going to all do what I do. But you better believe you're getting a message,
Oh,
right? You're getting the
absolutely.
message. We want people to understand.
Yeah, and again, so if you're seeing the numbers, we want you to look
Yes.
that up,
Yes.
don't just push it to the side. You're seeing those numbers for a reason. You were thinking about something. You may have asked a question out loud or even in your head is out loud for your divine
Mhm.
team. So
Mhm.
when you see those numbers, write it down. Write it down. Like,
Yes.
what were you thinking
Yes.
about? If you
Yes.
see like that cardinal, if you see like the white butterflies. Who were you just thinking about, Just know that they came to visit. They were letting you know, "Hey, I'm here."
And I love that, and I just truly believe they come to us too. We always think we thought of them, but when we see things majority of the time, when it connects us to that person, it's them coming to you and saying, "Hey, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm still around." Because love transcends all space and time. You understand, you cannot destroy love and energy cannot destroy the soul. It is for all time. It is eternal. So, just like you and I connecting here, they're connecting. We just find different ways to do it, just different ways. So I hope and, like, I just wanna finish this, and we just keep saying this. Please, if you have a topic you wanna talk about or if you've had a spiritual experience, because we really want to include people in this. We love for people to talk about this and not to be afraid and know you're not alone. There's nothing wrong with you. This has been around since time began. People have always had this. It's been within all of us, right? So we want people to share their stories too. So if there's something you feel, or you just have a question you wanna ask us, drop a Purple Heart. Please, because I want to answer, we want to start doing that. Answer something for someone to give back because we appreciate so much and we know this is helping so many people because we see the messages.
Yes.
So, until next time, I guess I'll be recording in Florida again because I have another week down here. I hope you guys get better weather by the time I come back. I hear it's getting better, so that's good. We'll bring some of the sunshine back.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Jen, we'll
See you
talk
later.
soon. Bye.